Hey guys, it's Fake Mate. Welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Fake Mate. For those who do know me, I'm also Fake Mate. This is the first time I've recorded a video recording my voice. That's because I'm doing a decluttering video today. So get set, get ready, and we're going to get ready to declutter all these and some other palettes. Okay, so firstly we're going to start off with our Too Faced palettes. So I have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Too Faced palettes. Not a huge collection, but it's, you know, it's enough for me. So I'm going to go through each of these and all my other palettes and see which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to give away. So first off is the Too Faced chocolate bar palette. This seems to be every single person's. Oh, that's a semi-sweet one. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll start off with this one right here. This is the Too Faced chocolate bar palette. This is an amazing palette if you're a beginner. Even if you're like an expert, it doesn't matter. This palette has every single shade that you could possibly need. It's got some pops of colour, it's got your mattes, and it's got your shimmers. And these colours are absolutely stunning. Palette I'm definitely going to keep. Next palette is the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. This palette is really similar to the first palette I showed you, except it's got a lot more like brownie tone colors, which I am in love with. If you guys want to see like a tutorial on any one of these palettes, just let me know and I'm sure to hit you up with one. But as you can see, they're just absolutely beautiful colors. I love that blue, and Butter Pecan is just amazing, so I'm definitely keeping this palette. Same goes with the Too Faced chocolate bonbons palette. This palette has no shades you can need. It's got pops of color, but I am going to keep this one as well. I'm not really sure about this palette though, so I might put it in a maybe pile, which will go over here. Now, onto these palettes. I'll lay them all out. Now, there's a big controversy over these palettes because these are part of the Too Faced holiday collections, and everyone knows that the Too Faced holiday collection palettes aren't the same quality as the chocolate bar palettes. They're not as pigmented, they're not as smooth, they don't blend as easily. They are still pretty pigmented, but it's quite chalky and it chunks up some kick out. So unfortunately, even though these palettes are so versatile, I feel like they always choose the same colours to be a pop of colour. They always choose that purple. That purple was in the Nikki Tutorials palette as well. And it's just nothing new from Too Faced. Like, it's nice that they have a bronzer and 2 blushes, but I've decided that I gotta part with these palettes. So, see you guys. Next we have the Juvia's Place palettes. These palettes are incredible. I'm sure you've heard Nikki Tutorials raving about these palettes, but these eyeshadow qualities are absolutely amazing. Now I'll just swatch a couple. Ooh, I should have cleaned my palettes before this video, I'm sorry, but I'll just swatch a couple of these colors. This one, and this one. Look at that. I've never seen something so pigmented in my entire life. Just, I cannot stop staring at these swatches. How amazing are they? These shadows perform like nothing that I've ever seen before. They are honestly incredible. They range between, I believe, maybe $20 US to around $35 US. Sorry, my camera cut off then, but as I was saying, these shadows perform like nothing that I've ever seen before in my entire life. Honestly, they're incredible. There's no way ever that I'm ever going to part with these palettes. I'm sorry, but they're just that good. Next, we have my BH Cosmetic palettes. I already know right now I'm definitely going to be keeping this one here. How gorgeous is this palette? And when I swatch, it's so freaking soft, and just, if you look, just how amazing is that? I don't think just so beautiful. So there's no way I'm parting with this palette. The eyeshadows are so soft, they blend amazingly. It's one of the best palettes BH Cosmetics has ever made in my opinion, so I'm definitely keeping that. Onto the BH Cosmetics Shine XO palette. I really don't know about this palette. It's not that the eyeshadows are not good, it's just because I never use it, and the whole point of this video is to get rid of stuff that I don't need, and this is definitely something that I don't need, so I am going to part with this palette, unfortunately. Same goes with the BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chick palette. This palette, beautiful palettes I've ever seen ever. The eyeshadows are just, they're baked eyeshadows, so they're so pigmented, and they're so beautiful, but it's just that I never will use these colors, and it's different with the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. Like, I do use those pops of colors sometimes, but I feel like I only need one palette that has those type of colors in it. I don't need two, so I am going to part with this one right here as well. Next we have my Anastasia. Oh, I'm missing one. Here we have my Anastasia palettes right here. This one I'm getting rid of. I don't know where I got this from exactly. The eyeshadows, like, I don't get blacks that have shimmer in it. I can never use them, and it's, as you can see, it's not even that great a quality. Probably one of the worst palettes Anastasia has made. I don't know what the name of it is. Bold and Beautiful kit. Oh, okay. I just don't need it, so I'm going to part with that one. This is the Anastasia Self-Made palette. I got this off Glambot, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I would only use like a couple of colours out of this palette, which would be like Metallic Plum, Hot and Cold, Sherbet, Hot Chocolate, and maybe Buttery and Treasure. But that's it. Like, I've never used this palette before, I don't think. I think I've dived into Hot Chocolate once, but I just never use it. So I love Anastasia shadows, but I gotta part with this one. Next we have the famous Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This palette has been raved about on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on like any form of social media, and I really don't see the hype. I mean, the eyeshadows are great, but they kick up so much kickback, like they kick up so much powder that it gets everywhere. Like, you have to like clean up under your eyes and everything. That's why you have to do your eyeshadow first with this palette. And like, I don't see the hype, but I do really love the color selection, so I am going to keep it for the color selection. It's just, I recommend that you know, use either tape under your eyes, or put, like, you know, people put pads under their eyes to stop kickback. Like, do that. But the shadows do, I got to give it to them, the shadows do blend amazingly though. It is a great palette. I do recommend it actually, but it's not worth all the hype that it's getting, I don't think. I think Juvia's Place deserves more hype than this palette. I forgot that I had these Too Faced palettes as well. I have the Cocoa Contour Kit, and I have the Natural Matte palette and the Natural Eye palette as well. And I gotta say, I'm keeping all three of these palettes. There's not much else to say about Too Faced. They do make some of the best shadows on the market. Really good for beginners if you're just starting out. They're not overly pigmented, so they're easy to work with, and I do love this contour kit. I believe this shade right here and here, if you have like really fair skin tones, makes an amazing carved out contour. And this brush is actually really good as well. As you can see, it's a bit manky because I do use it quite a bit, but nothing else to say. I am keeping all three of these ones as well. Next we have all my Tarte palettes. So I'm going to start off with this old big thing. This was part of Tarte's holiday collection of last year, and this is it right here. Just, it comes with everything you could possibly need. It comes with, oh, there goes the sheet. It comes with how many eyeshadows? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Sorry, my camera keeps on falling down. If you don't know already, I'm new to YouTube and I don't have cameras or I don't have big old fancy lights and microphones. I simply sit out here outside with my iPhone 6S and I just film videos because I enjoy it. I don't see myself anytime soon going out and buying, you know, big lavish cameras or anything like that because I can't afford it, and I might point that out there. But anyway, this palette has anything you could possibly need. It's got a blush, highlighter, 2 bronzers. It comes with, in here, it comes with mascara, it comes with my favorite eyeliner ever, and it comes with a lip paint as well, and it comes with a mirror in there as well. I really do love this palette. The only con is that it's huge. It's absolutely big and bulky. It's like the size of like 7 Harry Potter books, like honestly. That noise is so satisfying. But I am going to keep this palette actually. Next one, we got my Tarte lip palettes. Keeping these. They smell like the chocolate bar palettes. Comes with all matte shades and it's so soft, the shadows. And then this one here comes with some shimmers as well. I don't know, if you haven't tried Tarte shadows, I highly recommend you do. Lots of people hate them. I don't know if they got like dud palettes or anything, but I really love them actually. So I'm gonna keep them. Next we have the Tarte contour palette. This is amazing. I love this shade here, as you can probably tell. It blends out amazingly. These two colors mixed together to contour are absolutely stunning. They create the most natural contour ever. Definitely keeping this palette. Oh, I forgot about this one here. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea palette. I'm not keeping this one. It's full of shimmers besides a couple of shades, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. It hasn't really like said OMG to me. It's nothing amazing, so I am going to part with this palette. This one here I really love actually. Heartbreaker, which is the deep chocolate shade, is quite amazing. So are all the other shades. Like, again, it smells like chocolate. I am definitely keeping this one. On the other hand, these two palettes here, I just like Tarte's Pro, which is this one right here, has gotten so much hype, but I don't use these palettes, and I have over 100 eyeshadow palettes. Some of them include fake eyeshadow palettes, which I'm not including in this video, as you can tell by my name, which is Fake Mate. I do fake reviews of makeup, like fake makeup, but this isn't included in this video. I can do a separate video if you like. And I really need to reduce my makeup collection, and that's by getting rid of palettes I don't use. And I really don't use these palettes, so oh my gosh, but it's so beautiful. I don't know about the Tarte's Pro one. I'll put that in my maybe pile, but this one here, the Tarte Amazonian Clay eyeshadow palette, I'm going to get rid of this one here. Next we have is my Strobe Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. These are American Horror Story themed. I am absolutely in love with American Horror Story so much. So this one's the Hotel palette and this one's the Freak Show palette. I'm in love with these eyeshadows. I really am. If you look at the pigmentation of these, you're gonna get blown away. Just this blue, look at that blue. It reminds me of that blue from the Manny MUA and Makeup Geek palette. The only con I would say is that these eyeshadows, I don't know if you can see, but when you swatch it, the pan like moves, so I have to like face them downward. I can't face them upward, but just look at that. Strobe Cosmetics does amazing eyeshadows. I want to get more of their palettes, but I had to get these ones because they're American Horror Story themed. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping these ones, mainly because they're American Horror Story themed, but that doesn't matter. Next we have my Kat Von D palettes. This one here is the Kat Von D Saint True Romance palette. I never ever used this palette at all. I've used it maybe once, and now I dug into one of the shades. It's not difficult, it's just really weird packaging, but I do prefer this bad boy right here. This palette has anything, like I've said this in May like 1,000 times, but it has anything you could possibly need in an eyeshadow palette. It's just got all your mattes. It doesn't have shimmers. You could totally get away with just having this palette and a completely shimmer palette and one colourful palette. You could get away with having 3 palettes and you would be set for life. This palette is just, the eyeshadows are so pigmented and so creamy. Just look at that black. That's so black. Like, I don't know what to say, because you either love a palette or you hate it. I can't really justify why I get rid of palettes, because you know when you hate something and you can't really explain why you hate it, but you just hate it. That's what's happening. But I just love this palette so much, so I am definitely, hands down, going to be keeping it. Next is my Lorac palettes. How cute are these palettes? I'm sorry, but I can't get rid of them. They are so cute. I couldn't throw it in the bin. It's like throwing a baby in the bin. Why would you do that? You just wouldn't. So I'm keeping them, and I'm keeping every single Lorac eyeshadow palette I have. I know it's unnecessary. Like, theoretically, I probably could get rid of this one here, but I don't want to. There's just something about, oh, there's a hair there. There's just something about these eyeshadows that have me coming back to them. I feel like I'm going to hit pan soon in a couple of these shades, because I just use these palettes all the time. I can't. There's something about, they kick up some kickback, which I must say is annoying. Not as much as the Anastasia one though, but I'll swatch one for you. They're not super duper pigmented, but if you just look at the layout of this palette, just how beautiful is it? Sorry for the terrible swatches, by the way. But yeah, I love Lorac shadows so much. They're one of my favorite eyeshadow palette brands, and I can't see myself parting with any of these palettes anytime soon. So I'm definitely hands down keeping it. Sorry, I gotta hurry this up. My battery is about to die. I'm keeping both of these Stila palettes. They are absolutely just, where is it? Kitten is just, oh my god, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's perfect for a highlight on your cheek if you want a blinding highlight. That's the good thing about eyeshadows, you can use them as highlighters. But yeah, hands down keeping both of these, because they are also discontinued as well, and I have a thing for like limited edition stuff as well, which is really bad, because I know some of you guys can't get it, but I do recommend those palettes. You can get them off Glambot, I believe. That's where I got mine from as well. Here we have the Natasha Denona Star palette. Now, this palette cost me around $300 Australian. That's one reason why I'm keeping it. I can't justify getting rid of it because it costed so much money. The eyeshadows honestly aren't even that great. If someone wants this palette, maybe I'll put it in a giveaway or something. They're not even, I mean, when you swatch it, it swatches great. But I've used better eyeshadows before, and it just shows you that you don't need to spend $300 on an eyeshadow palette to get good quality. You can easily, for 20 bucks, buy Juvia's Place palette and get the exact same quality from it. But yeah, it's kind of a regretful purchase, but I am going to keep it. Here we have just this random W7 in the Mood palette. This looks exactly like the Naked 1 or 2 basics, which I already have, so I don't need it, so I'm getting rid of this one. Sorry, I just burped. Here we have both my It Cosmetics palettes. I haven't used any of these yet. I only got them recently, so I'm definitely keeping them. Only because I haven't formed an opinion yet on them. so I can't exactly get rid of them when I haven't tried it yet. I don't think it's fair to the brand. So I'll try them out and I will let you know in maybe an update video for some of these palettes that I've never tried. Here we have my Zoeva palettes. I've got 4. These eyeshadows are so affordable. Around all of these 4 cost me around 100 Australian, which is really cheap. You can get them off the Zoeva website. I believe it's cheaper than getting it off Zoeva's website than Sephora. I'm not 100% sure, but these eyeshadows are stunning. They're not overly pigmented, but they just blend like a dream. It's something really good for a beginner. If you have like a, I wouldn't call it like a high-end brand, I'd call it more like a, like Chi Chi. Chi Chi's not drugstore, but it's more on the high-end side, even though it costs like $30 for a palette. So I wouldn't consider this high-end really, because in Australia the Modern Renaissance is like $90 on Sephora, and that's high-end. So I wouldn't call them, I would call them good palettes for beginners, but I am keeping them. Here we have this MAC palette. I'm keeping it because it costed me so much money. Really expensive. As Kathleen Lights would say, that's expensive. So I'm keeping it, sorry. Here we have this Makeup Forever palette. It is the 9 Artist Shadow palette. I already know I'm getting rid of this. I don't use it at all. I've used it before, didn't really like it. It's got all shimmers in it besides the black, I think. It's not my cup of tea, not my favourite, so I'm going to get rid of it. Here we have a bunch of palettes that I'm going to be keeping. 1, because they're contour palettes, and 2, either because I customize them myself, so I can't really get rid of them. So first is this palette here. It's a Z palette full of some blushes and some Makeup Geek blushes and Makeup Geek contour things. Definitely keeping this. Beautiful formula. This is my Colourpop shadows. So soft. I only got these because I'm in love with single eyeshadows. So it's kind of I haven't really tried it out yet either, so I've got to play with it a bit more and I'll update you guys. I'll let you know. Just comment if you want like a mini review on any of these palettes, and I'm sure I'll get them up for you. This palette costed around 100 and something Australian dollars, but as you can see, I have destroyed it. It's not even that bad, but I've used it because I use this palette almost every single day. It's the Art 01 Neutral palette. This palette is incredible. It's not too pigmented. It's amazing for beginners. It just has all your neutral shades in it, and I can't part with it. It's got a special place in my heart, so I'm keeping that. Then we have my Violet Voss Pro eyeshadows. How pretty is this palette? I can't get over how pretty it is. I'm keeping it. I'm sorry, I can't get rid of it. Same with the Inglot palette. I'm definitely keeping it. I customized it myself. It costed me around $100. As you can tell, I'm in love with my purples and my browns. That's where I tend to go, so I'm keeping that. Then here's my Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette. This palette costed me around $200, which is expensive. These shadows blend out like a dream. I haven't really used any of these palettes heaps, because if I like a palette such as the Art one, I would use it every single day. So that's the problem I have here. But if you guys want me to use any of these palettes more, I definitely will. And I'm keeping my Inoxa Cover and Correct palette right here, because it has 2 concealer shades and 4 correcting shades, and I need color correcting, trust me. If you saw my face, you would be like, damn, she needs a lot of color correcting. And these are all cream contours, and this is a powder contour. I almost hit Pan and the Banana and this one, so I'm keeping them. Here we have 2 Hourglass palettes. These are absolutely beautiful. I think Hourglass wins it when it comes to the packaging of these eyeshadows. Like the way the gradient just like flows is absolutely beautiful. These costed me 2 kidneys, so I'm keeping them. finally some palettes I'm getting rid of. Dose of Colours Ice Cream palette, getting rid of it, never use it, have used it, didn't really like it, getting rid of it. Tarte Swamp Queen palette, used it, didn't really like it, wasn't exactly impressed with it. Tarte, it smells like chocolate, which, does it? I just never use it, and the blush in it, I don't know, I just don't know, so I'm getting rid of it. Getting rid of both of my Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette and the Androgyny palette. Nothing wrong with the eyeshadows, they're, as you can tell, pretty pigmented, that's for sure. But do I need these shades? No, because I'll never use them ever. So I gotta part with them. Same goes with the Balm Nude Tude palette. I've loved this palette for a long time. As you can tell, look at the black smeared around here because I used to use this as eyeliner. I don't know if you can see, but it's time for me to part with this palette. I think it's expired. I don't even know. Here we got the Naked 1, the Naked Basics, and the Naked 2 Basics. Keeping all of these. I mean, look at it. This palette screams fake mate, fake mate, fake mate. These palettes are all me. And just these neutrals. I'm all about those neutrals. So I'm definitely keeping them. Everyone's raving about Buxom eyeshadows. And the colours selection isn't the best selection I could have bought. That's the only reason why I'm not keeping the palette. I don't believe that eyeshadows are terrible, but if you guys recommend any other Buxom palette, let me know and I'll be sure to be purchasing it if you think the colour selection suits me. Here we got the Morphe 350 palette. It's the one with like the shimmers and the mattes in it. Why is there hair in every single palette? I'm keeping this because I feel like I need a Morphe palette in my collection. I have the need to go buy another one, but I feel like it's just easy to travel with. I can just take this palette and I'll have all my mattes and my shimmers in it. And it's not even too bulky, it's quite thin as well. Okay, so back to these two palettes. I've decluttered how many palettes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 20 palettes, which I exceeded my goal of 15. So I'm going to give this palette another chance at life in Fake Mate's hands. Because it is an absolutely beautiful palette, and I feel like I haven't really gained a proper opinion on it yet, and this one I have to keep. I have to have the full collection of the chocolate bar palettes, even though I don't have the Sweet Peach palette. I just need to. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I'm sorry. So that completes it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Fake Mate. In case you didn't guess that at the start of the video, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll do a declutter series maybe once every 6 months. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comments below and request any videos you would like to see, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Also guys, please excuse the person mowing their lawn in the background. I do film outside so you can hear the wind and the birds. But that's good, it's different. You can hear nature, and that just shows that nature is beautiful. So thank you so much. Thanks for not getting annoyed. If you did get annoyed, then please leave. Thanks. Bye.